Hello guys, no? So welcome back sa another accounting tutorial. This time, panibagong topic naman, no? Tapos na natin yung napakahabang standard costing na yon. Grabe, part 1 and part 2, natapos na natin yon. Masyadong mahaba. Ngayon, variable and absorption costing naman, no? Isang take lang to. Isang video lang, no? So, hindi masyadong mahaba. Okay, kung ready ka na, tara na. So, before anything else, no, let's take a recap first kung ano yung product and period cost. Kasi sabi ko nga, konektado to. Konektado yung cost concepts and cost behavior, CVP analysis, standard costing, pati dito sa variable and absorption costing. So, kailangan nating ma-review yung concept ng product and period cost kasi building block ito sa pag-intindi ng topic na ito. First, sino sa kanilang inventoryable? 'Di ba? Product cost inventoryable, period cost hindi 'yun inventoryable. Anong accounting treatment ulit kapag product cost? Capitalize first. Pero pag period cost, expense mo na kaagad. Okay? Anong cost flow? Paano ang flow niyan? Pagka-capitalize mo, pagka-incur mo, capitalize mo yan as inventory, tapos kung may nabenta man, charge mo sa profit or loss or income statement. Pero yung period cost, pagka-incur mo kaagad, pasok ka agad sa profit or loss or income statement. Expense ka agad. Diba? Anong profit or loss item ng product cost? Cost of goods sold. Ano naman pag period cost? Operating expense. So anong i-charge mo sa income statement? Yung proportionate between sold and unsold units. Kapag nabenta na, yung na-sold units, cost of goods sold. No? Yung hindi pa nabenta, ending inventory yan. Napapasok yan sa statement of financial position as asset mo. Current asset yan. Ano naman yung period cost? Anong charge mong amount? Full amount. Lahat na yun, operating expense mo. So yun ha, yun ang pinagkaiba ng product cost sa period cost. Recap lang. Recap. Okay. Ano naman, define muna natin ano ba muna yung absorption costing para maintindihan natin. It is a product costing method that includes all manufacturing costs. Pag sinabi po natin all manufacturing costs, direct materials, direct labor, and both variable and fixed manufacturing overhead sa cost ng unit of product. Okay, sa unit cost, kasama dun lahat. Direct materials, direct labor, variable, and fixed manufacturing overhead. It treats fixed manufacturing overhead as a product cost. Okay? So yun naman ho talaga, ang fixed manufacturing overhead, inventoryable yan, product cost yan. Also known as full costing, conventional costing, GAAP, PFRS costing, and traditional costing. Yun naman ho talaga sa GAAP, di ba? Pag PFRS, di ba? Ang overhead natin sa fixed product yan. Product cost yan. Inventory mo yan. Alright? Okay? Sir, ano naman tong variable costing? No? It is a product costing method that includes only variable manufacturing cost in the cost of a unit of product. Pag sinabi ho nating variable manufacturing cost, yan lang po yung direct materials, direct labor, and variable overhead. No? Hindi kasama dyan yung fixed manufacturing overhead dun sa unit cost mo. Okay? So it treats fixed manufacturing overhead as a period cost. Instead of product cost, period cost ka sa fixed manufacturing overhead. Kaya nga, dinefine natin kanina yung pagkakaiba ng product cost sa period cost. Alright? So, it also known as marginal costing, non-GAAP costing, and direct costing. Okay? Ang lagi nyo mamimit dito, itong direct costing. So, kapag sinabi, use direct costing, variable costing lang din po iyon. No? So, wag kayong mawawala doon. Isa-isa lang yan. Pare-parehas lang. Yan. So, ano po ba ulit yung product cost under the two methods? Di ba? Ano ulit yung mga inventoryable cost nila under absorption and variable costing? Di ba? Siyempre, manufacturing cost, andyan yung direct materials, and product cost yan for absorption costing and variable costing. Direct labor. Yes, product cost yan under absorption costing and variable costing. Variable overhead. Yes, product cost yan for absorption costing and variable costing. And lastly, fixed manufacturing overhead, product cost yan under absorption costing, pero hindi yan product cost under variable costing. Period cost mo yan. So, yan yung pagkakaiba ha. Napaka-clear naman siya. No? Madali mo naman siyang ma-visualize. Okay? Para kayang-kayang magets. So, kung meron tayong manufacturing cost, meron din naman tayong non-manufacturing cost. And yung selling expense yan, para sa dalawa, hindi yan product cost. We're only talking about manufacturing cost ha. Iba po ang manufacturing cost sa non-manufacturing cost. Remember, no? We're only talking about product cost here. Kaya, connected yan sa manufacturing cost. Ayan, no? Yung mga ganyan. Pero kung non-manufacturing cost, andyan yung selling expenses, andyan yung administrative expenses. Na alam natin sa dalawang method na yan, period cost silang dalawa. Alright? So, hindi product cost yan ha. Hindi product cost ang non-manufacturing cost. Baka kasi mapagkamalan ninyo eh. We're only talking about here. Ito lang naman yung sinasabi natin. Ito, period cost silang dalawa. Alright? Kasi yung estudyante ako, akala ko, pati rin yung mga selling expenses and admin expenses, damay sa product cost eh. Hindi pala. Period cost talaga sila sa simulat sa pool pa lang. Alright. So, ano ba muna? Compare ulit natin. Ang dami na namang comparison, no? Para hindi kayo malito. Yung variable costing versus absorption costing. Ano ulit yung treatment natin sa fixed manufacturing overhead when it comes to variable costing? Period cost. Pag absorption costing, product cost ang fixed manufacturing overhead. Anong focus ng reporting mo? Internal reporting ka. Ito naman, external reporting kasi PFRS yan. Compliant yan sa PFRS. Para bang management accounting lang versus financial accounting na part. No? Pero syempre, this time, variable costing, absorption costing naman. O, anong required daw ba yan ng PFRS? Hindi. Hindi po required ang variable costing. Ang nire-require lang ng PFRS ay yung absorption costing. Bakit? Pakita ko mamaya. Kasi sa income statement format, ang format ng variable costing is yung CVP natin or yung contribution margin approach. Diba? Yung sa CVP format natin, may sales, may variable cost, may contribution margin ka, may fixed cost, may operating income. Again, sabi ko nga, konektado sila. Magkakakonekta yung mga yan. CVP, cost concepts and cost behavior, standard costing, and ito, variable and absorption costing. Alright? Ano naman ang format ng income statement sa absorption costing? Yung traditional or PFRS format natin. Na alam nyo to, yung sales, cost of goods sold, gross profit, OPEX, operating income. Yan mismo yung pre-present natin sa income statement. Kaya required tayo ng PFRS. Kasi nga for external ho talaga ang absorption costing. Alright? So, tignan nga natin sa first problem na to para mas maintindihan natin. Si Happy Corporation produces non-fat yogurt which it sells to restaurants and ice cream shops. The product is sold in 10-gallon containers which have the following price and variable cost. May selling price, 30 pesos, direct materials, 10, 4, and 6 for labor and overhead. Variable overhead. Budgeted fixed overhead in 2025, the company's first year of operations was 600,000. Actual production was 150,000, 10-gallon containers, of which 125,000 were sold. No? Happy incurred the following selling and administrative expenses. 100K na fixed, 2 pesos per container sold. No? Again, selling yan ha, hindi yan product cost. Period cost yung mga yan. Now, anong nire-require sa atin ng problem? Compute yung unit product cost per container of frozen yogurt under variable costing and absorption costing. Prepare the operating income statements for 2025 using absorption costing and variable costing and reconcile the operating income reported under the two methods. Okay, relax lang. Isa-isahin naman natin yan. No? Solution. Doon sa A, anong requirement? Unit product cost under variable and absorption. Diba? So may binigay DM, DL, variable overhead. Ano ulit yung sabi natin na unit product cost kapag variable costing, di ba? Andyan yung direct materials. Di ba? Kasama yan. Direct labor. Oo, kasama yan sa dalawa. Variable overhead. Yes. Product cost yan for both variable and absorption costing. Saan lang sila nagkaiba? Sa fixed overhead. Sa variable costing, hindi yan product cost. Period cost yan, kaya wala kang ilalagay dyan na product cost. Pero sa absorption costing, meron kang ilalagay. Pero anong ilalagay mo? No? Ang fixed overhead per unit natin is budgeted fixed overhead over normal capacity. Sir, ano ho yan? Ano ho yan? Saan yan galing? Diba? Ano ba muna first ang normal capacity? Ang normal capacity po, yun po yung average level of activity over a long period of time or over a budgeting period. Parang yun yung average, yun yung normal na activity or production ng isang company over a budgeting period, no? This time kasi walang sinabi, no? Kapag po sa scenario na to, ang assumption mo diyan, yung normal capacity mo or yung actual production mo rather is yun na rin yung normal capacity mo. No? Paano sir kung may binigay na for example normal capacity is equal to let's say 200k. Ang actual production mo diyan let's say 150k. So ang susundin mo diyan kung may binigay na normal capacity yung normal capacity yung susundin mo. Kasi yun yung nasa formula ng fixed overhead per unit. Normal capacity pa talaga yan. No? In this case, walang binigay na normal capacity. Hence, i-assume mo na yung actual production mo, yun na rin yung normal capacity mo. Alright. Ito, paano naman sir kung may binigay na maximum capacity? Maximum capacity. Let's say 250k. Huwag mong kukunin yan. Sinasabi niya lang yan na yan yung pinaka-max na capacity na pwedeng ma-produce ng isang company over a budgeting period. So, pwede siyang lumagpas yung capacity mo ng 230k na production, pwede siyang mag-over normal, di ba? Pero ang pinaka-max niya talaga is 250. In this case, huwag mo siyang papansinin. Kasi again, di ba, normal capacity yung nasa formula natin. Nagkataon lang na walang normal capacity, kaya ang kukunin natin ay yung actual production na 150k. So, ilan yung budgeted overhead natin? Fixed overhead, 600k. O, lagay mo na sa formula mo, 600k divided by 150. So, ilan? 4. So, ang fixed overhead per unit mo, 4. O, diba? E di kompleto na. Meron ka ng unit product cost for variable costing na 20 pesos, for absorption costing, 24. Alright. So, na-compute mo na yung requirement number A. Letter A rather. So, tingnan naman natin. Kasi 'di ba, hinahanap sa atin ano yung variable costing income. Alam natin, 'di ba? Yung unit product cost ng variable costing 20. Meron kang sales 125 yung nabenta daw at selling price na 30. No? So 3,750,000, meron kang variable cost. Again, pag variable costing income, CVP format tayo, 'di ba? Pag CVP format, andyan yung sales, variable cost, CM, fixed cost, then yun, income ka na. Alright. So may variable cost ka na manufacturing. Ano ulit yung mga variable cost na manufacturing mo? Iyan po. Variable yung mga yan. At 20 ka nga lang. Kasi yun yung inventoriable product cost mo. Alright. Tapos meron ka ding selling. 125 times 2 ulit. Sabi din yan sa problem. And remember ha, number of units sold ka din dito. Number of units sold ka din dyan sa sales mo. No? Para makuha mo yung contribution margin. Alright, so 2,500,000 yan, 250k yan, ibawas mo lahat dyan, 1 million yan. Alright, so tingnan naman natin yung fixed cost. Diba, yung fixed overhead natin kanina, na budgeted fixed overhead na 600K. Under variable costing, expense lahat yun. Period cost lahat yun, yung 600K. Hindi mo yun i-inventaryo. Hindi mo yan ilalagay dyan sa manufacturing mo. Since to begin with, period cost yan under variable costing. So, charge mo lahat yan. Lahat at 600K. Tapos, meron ka ding fixed selling na 100K for the year. Kaya ang net income mo under variable costing is 300K. Alright? 300K. Oh, sir, ano naman po ang absorption costing income natin? Diba? Ganun. Same given ulit. Sales natin, ganun naman ulit yung number of units sold multiplied by selling price. Cost of goods sold, 125 na nabenta mo times 24. Diba? Yun ang pinagkaiba. Sa variable costing kanina, 20 lang yan. Kasi nga, hindi naman po inventorable yung fixed overhead. Pero nasa absorption costing na tayo, lahat na yan, unit product cost na yan. So kung may ilan ba yung nabenta mo, 125, yun yung cost of goods sold mo. So gross profit mo, 750K. Meron kang operating expenses, di ba, na fixed selling, di ba? Yan po, yung selling and administrative expenses natin, operating expenses yan, fixed and variable. Yung variable selling mo, 2 pesos daw per container sold. Ilan ba nabenta mo? 125. So 125 times 2, 250 yan. Kaya ang net income mo under absorption costing, 400K. Oh. Yun na, ang bilis, di ba? No? Tignan natin. Ano to, sir? Bakit may sinasabi na reconcile the operating income reported under the two methods? Yun ho kasi, di ba, pwede po nating ma-reconcile yung net income under the two methods. No? In reconciling on converting the net income from absorption costing to variable costing and vice versa, use the above template. Ano ba yung above template, sir? Absorption costing net income plus beginning inventory, na beginning inventory multiply by fixed cost per unit, bawas mo yung ending inventory. So you will get variable costing net income. Ano ulit yung fixed cost per unit na yan? Ito po yung fixed overhead, no? Fixed manufacturing overhead per unit natin kanina, na na-solve natin kanina, equal to 4. Diba? Yun po yun. No? So tignan nga natin, yung above na yan, paano ba natin yan gagamayin? No? First, examine muna natin. Budgeted fixed overhead, no? Or rather, the company's first year of operation, since first year of operations yan, wala kang inventory. May na-produce daw sana 150K yung production mo. Ilan yung nabenta? 125K. Kasi we're looking at inventories here. Diba? Yun kasi gagamitin natin to reconcile yung above. Diba? Absorption, beginning inventory, ending inventory, variable. O kailangan natin ma-determine yung beginning and ending. Kaya ang ending inventory natin, 25,000 units. O, di ba? Meron tayong above. Ilan ulit yung absorption costing net income natin? 400K kanina, di ba? Wala tayong beginning inventory. Zero yan. Pero may ending inventory tayo. Na alin ulit? Ilan ulit yung fixed cost per unit natin? 4. 4 yung fixed cost per unit natin. No? So, yan, 25,000 times 4, 100K yung ending inventory mo. Kaya ang variable costing net income, 300K. Check nga natin, di ba? Ilan ulit yung absorption? 400, 300. Ilan yung difference? 100. Tignan natin dito. Yung variable 300, yung absorption 400. Ilan yung difference? 100. O, di ba? Na-reconcile natin gamit lang yung above method na yon or template na yon. Sige. So, ano ba yung reason kung bakit sila may difference? Bakit ba? No? Yun lang naman dahil sa treatment ng sa fixed manufacturing overhead natin. Kasi 'di ba dun sa variable costing, period cost 'yan. Sa absorption costing, product cost. Yun lang naman yung dahilan kung bakit sila may difference. No? tignan natin. Ang charge nating amount sa income statement, pag variable costing yan, kasi period cost yan, full amount. Yung buong 600K na yun, charge natin as operating expenses under variable costing. Period cost nga siya, full amount ka, 600K ka. Pero product cost, yung fixed manufacturing overhead mo kapag absorption costing. Kaya ina-apportion mo yan between sold and unsold units. Ilan ba yung nabenta mo? 125, di ba? Out of 150K lang. So, hindi lahat ng na-produce mo, nabenta mo. So, mayroong cost of goods sold, no? Paano makakompute yung cost of goods sold? 600K, i-proportionate mo lang 125 na nabenta out of 150 total goods. So, ang cost of goods sold mo dyan, 500K. Yung remaining na hindi mo nabenta, ending inventory yan. No? Yun. Yun yung difference nila. Kaya nga tayo may difference na 100K kanina kasi nga may na-inventaryo ka na 100. Pero dito, in-expense mo lahat. Okay? So, yun po yung dahilan. So, makakreate tayo ng rules, di ba, sa net income. Na kung yung production is greater than sales, there is an increase in inventory. Ano ulit yung kanina, di ba? Mas malaki yung production mo kaysa sa sold, kaya may ending inventory ka. Hence, if production is greater than sales, absorption income is greater than variable income. Ang palatandaan ko dyan, P greater than S, AI, BI. Diba? Okay? P is greater than S equals, syempre, ang katapat niyan, AI or absorption income is greater than VI. O, madaling maalala. Madaling maalala. No? So, di ba, tingnan natin, mas malaki nga yung absorption income mo, 400 yan, no? Compared mo sa 300. No? Anong reason ulit? Yung fixed overhead na in-expense natin under absorption costing is less than the fixed overhead expense under variable costing. Ang in-expense mo lang na fixed overhead sa absorption costing 500. Sa variable costing 600. Kaya yung 100 na difference, yun yung dahilan. Alright? And additionally, ending inventory is greater than beginning inventory. Totoo nga naman na kapag production is greater than sales, mas malaki yung ending inventory mo kaysa sa beginning inventory. Alright? So, yun yung mga kailangan nyong maalala dyan. No? What if production is less than sales? Paano naman, sir, kung mas malaki yung sales ko kaysa sa production? O, tignan natin sa problem number 2. No? This problem is brought to you by Sino ba? Sino ba ang sponsor natin? Nagsip ako ng sponsor, si ano na lang. Si Micaela. Micaela, ikaw ang sponsor ng problem 2 na to, no? So, shout out sa'yo, Micaela. Ikaw ang may sala ng problem 2 na to, no? Ewan ko na lang. So, a company reports the following variable costing income statement for its single product. This company sales totaled 40K. Pero yung production niya, 30K. Totoo nga naman. Sales is greater than production. O, ayan. Oh, ang dami agad. Diba? Pero this time, kasi intindihin mo ha, variable costing income statement yung present na sa atin. Sales, relax lang. Yung manufacturing natin na 40,000 units, sir, ano to? Yung 25 pesos per unit. Ito po yung direct materials, direct labor, overhead. Or variable overhead rather. Kasi manufacturing yan. Di ba? Ano ulit ang manufacturing ng variable? Yung DMDL variable lang. No? Pero itong fixed cost na yan, ito po talaga yung in-expense niya na 300K. So watch out lang ha, watch out. Ganyan po magpasa ng problem sa mga variable and absorption costing. Now, anong nire-require? Convert the company's variable costing income statement to an absorption costing income statement and reconcile the difference in income between the two costing methods. Okay. So, this company sales total 40K. Again, na-highlight ko na to. No? So, tignan natin. Sabi ko nga, yung 25 pesos per unit, na manufacturing variable cost mo sa variable costing, ganun din ho sa absorption costing yan. No? 25 din yan sa absorption costing. And remember, wala kang fixed overhead ha. Wala kang, hindi po product cost ang fixed overhead under variable costing, kaya wala tayo, kaya zero yan. Kaya tayo 25. And ito, gaya-gaya po tumaya ang absorption costing when it comes to DM, DL, variable overhead. Parehas lang sila. No? Ang pinagkaiba nila yung fixed overhead mo. Ano ulit yung fixed overhead natin? Or fixed overhead per unit? Budgeted fixed overhead na 300K divided by normal capacity. Again, walang binigay na normal capacity dito, kunin mo na to. No? Okay lang, kahit walang binigay, basta may binigay na actual production. Paano sir kung may binigay na normal capacity at iba yun sa actual production, kunin mo pa rin si normal capacity. Alright? So, 300K divided by 30K, 10 yan. So, lagay mo na dyan, 10 yung fixed overhead per unit natin. So, ang unit product cost mo under absorption costing, syempre, 25 plus 10, 35. No? So, tingnan natin, variable versus absorption income. Convert na natin yon into absorption costing income. So, ito yung variable costing income natin, di ba? O, ganun ulit sa absorption costing. Yung number of units sold, multiply mo sa 60, parehas. Cost of goods sold ngayon, at 35 ka na ha, hindi na at 25. Huh? Nadagdagan na yan ng 10 piso na fixed overhead per unit. So, may gross profit ka na 1 million. Tapos, meron kang operating expenses na ganun lang din. Ito lang din po, selling and administrative expenses. Tapos, yung fixed cost na selling and administrative. No? Yan lang din ho yun. Wala silang pinagkaiba. Kaya ang absorption costing income mo, 700K. Oh, diba? Kita mo ulit, tandaan mo ha. 800 ka sa variable, 700 ka sa absorption. This time, mas malaki yung variable costing mo kaysa sa absorption costing income. Bakit kaya? Bakit kaya? No? Sige, reconcile muna natin. Mas malaki yung sales na 40K kaysa sa production na 30K. No? So, nabenta mo 40K. Ang na-produce mo lang 30K. Ibig sabihin, may beginning inventory ka na 10K. Hindi ka pwedeng magbenta na sobrang dami pero ang na-produce mo lang 30K. Dapat may beginning balance ka dyan kung ganun. Kasi ang nabenta mo mas malaki sa na-produce mo eh. So dapat may backup ka dyan. No? May balance ka dyan para mangyari yung totoo yun. Para magkatotoo yung number of units sold na yon. Pero ang ending, wala kang ending inventory. No? Wala kang ending inventory dyan kasi napasobra yung benenta mo kasi sa na-produce mo eh. Kaya kumuha ka dun sa beginning inventory mo. O yung tuloy, wala kang ending inventory. O, reconcile ulit natin. Ilan yung variable costing net income natin? 800K kanina yon. Wala tayong ending inventory. Pero meron tayong beginning inventory na 10,000, di ba? Ilan yung fixed cost per unit natin kanina? 10. So, 10K times 10, 100K yan. Tapos, i-work back mo na lang, no? Ang absorption costing net income natin, 700K. Remember, naalala nyo yan? 700 yan, tsaka 800 yan kanina. Okay? So, paano naman? Ano naman yung rules natin kapag yung production is less than sales? Meron po tayong decrease sa inventory. Totoo nga naman, nabawasan yung inventory natin from 10K naging 0. And in effect, absorption income is less than variable income. Baliktad naman ngayon. P is less than S. Kaya yung EI is less than VI. See? Diba kanina? P is greater than S. AI is greater than VI. O baliktarin mo lang. Diba? Greater than, less than, less than. O, ganun lang siya. O, totoo ba? Totoo yan, di ba? Yung variable income natin, 800K, mas malaki yan sa absorption income natin. Ganun ulit yung reason, yung fixed overhead na in-expense natin under absorption costing is greater than fixed overhead expense under variable costing, kaya mas maliit yung income na absorption. And again, mas malaki yung beginning inventory mo kaysa sa ending inventory. Baliktad lang yan dun sa production is greater than sales kanina. Okay? So, masasabi natin na yung income fluctuates with production when it comes to absorption costing. Kasi nga, yung income mo mag-i-increase din kapag yung production nag-increase. It fluctuates in the same direction when it comes to production. Kapag tumaas yung production, tataas din yung income mo kapag nasa absorption costing ka. Diba? Pero, pag nasa variable costing ka, your income fluctuates with sales. Kapag mas malaki yung sales mo, mas malaki yung variable costing income mo. Diba? Yun lang yung gusto niyang sabihin dyan. Same direction sila. No? Direct relationship ba, kumbaga. Alright. Sir, paano naman, sir, kung yung production is equal to sales? Kasi kanina, greater than, less than. Eh. So, walang mangyayari. Equal lang silang dalawa. Absorption costing income is greater than variable costing income. And yung ending inventory mo, ganun lang din sa beginning inventory mo. No? Kasi in the long run, no, yung both methods na yan, they give substantially the same results. Since sales cannot continuously exceed production, nor production can continually exceed sales. O nga naman, sino ba naman may gusto na yung lagi mong naproproduce mas malaki sa nabibenta mo? Ang naproduce mo 10,000, ang nabenta mo lang 5,000. Pangit naman yun. Overproduction ka naman doon. O kaya naman ang naproduce mo 8,000. Pero ang demand sa iyo ng sales 15,000, pangit naman. Kaya yung mga company, in the long run, gusto nila, kung ilan yung na-produce nila, yun na din yung nabenta nila. Para hindi sila lugi. Diba? Gastos din nila yun. No? Loss din nila yun. Alright? So let's take a break naman, no, minsan. May throughput costing naman dito. No? Ano bang magandang i-shoutout dyan? Si John Ray. Harayin mo, John Ray, no? Harayin mo, John Ray. Sino ba? Yung handout nyo. Kumusta yung handout nyo, mga fourth year? Grabe naman. Grabe naman. Pwede mo lang isampal sa akin. Grabe naman yung handout na yun. Masusugat ako. Nakakasugat sa kamay kapag no? Hiyang-hiya naman yung handout ko sa cost accounting. Grabe naman. Uy, wag yung iwawala. Wag yung iwawala yung handout nyo sa review, mga fourth year. Naku, iiyak kayo kapag nawala nyo yun, yung handout ko. Joke lang. Kasi pag ako, nawawala ko yung handout ko, back to zero ako eh. Yun ang mahirap, back to zero ka. No? So, alagaan ninyo yung mga handout yung mga quizzes ninyo, kasi kahit hindi ka na magbasa ng libro, yun na kaagad, marireview mo na kaagad. No? Okay, so tapos na ang batalastas. Let's talk about throughput costing. Huh? An extreme form of variable costing in which only direct material costs are included as inventoryable costs. Naku, grabe naman to. Sabi dyan, extreme form of variable costing. Kasi yung direct material cost lang naman, yung inventoryable cost niya, grabe ka naman, boy. No? All other costs are costs of the period in which they are incurred. Kaya nga, ibang tawag dyan, super variable costing. Parang yung mga super fragile excaladiusius ba yun? Yung mga mahabang na salita. No? Pero dito, lahat, all other costs are period costs except direct material. So, mas malala pala to. No? Extreme form of variable costing. No? So, tignan nga natin sa problem number 1. I-continue natin yung sa problem number 1 kanina. Pero ang requirement din natin, compute the throughput margin and income under throughput costing. No? So, tingnan natin, sa solution na to, ganun ulit. Selling price, direct materials, direct labor, variable overhead. No? Again, ito yung unit product cost natin under absorption costing and variable costing, ha? Pero pag throughput costing ka, direct materials lang ho, yung product cost po dyan. Ganon siya kalala, ganon siya ka-extreme. Diba? Hindi niya pinansin yung direct labor, variable overhead, ninaktawan niya na. Direct materials kaagad siya. No? So, yun lang ha, yun lang kailangan mo expect sa product cost mo. Kaya kapag isosolve mo, no, yung sales mo, 125,000 yung nabenta, selling price 30, 3,750 na sales. Ang product cost mo lang dyan, yung direct materials. And again, naka-highlight ka, naka-base ka sa number of units sold. Diba? Kung pansinin ninyo, sa pagkuha ng mga margin, contribution margin, gross profit, throughput margin, no? Lahat yan naka-base sa number of units sold. No? Number of units sold ka dyan, ha? Pansinin mo kapag nasa margin ka. Pagkuha ng contribution margin, gross margin or gross profit, and throughput margin. Number of units sold. Paglagpas mo dyan, pagbaba mo dyan, di ba? Yung direct labor and variable overhead, naka-base naman na sila sa number of units produced. Yun ang pinagkaiba, ha? Yun ang pinagkaiba. Kasi kanina, nasanay tayo sa direct labor, variable overhead. Laging nakabase yan sa number of units sold eh. Kasi nga, product cost sila sa variable and absorption costing. Pero dito sa throughput costing, period cost na yung mga yan. Kaya nakabase na sila sa actual production. Kumbaga ba, pagka-incur mo, expense ka agad. Hindi mo na hinintay kung ilan yung mabibenta. Ba, hindi ka na naghintay ng ganun. Kung magkano yung nagawa, expense na kaagad. No? So, units produced ka. Again, yung fixed overhead mo, budgeted fixed overhead mo, ganun ulit. Yung 600K mo, expense lahat yan kasi nasa throughput costing ka. Direct materials lang yung product cost niya dyan. O, ganun ulit. Yung variable selling and administrative and yung fixed mo na selling administrative, expense din yan. Period cost din yan. Diba? Kaya ang throughput income mo, 50K. No? Naubos yung sales mo. ubos na ubos yung sales mo. Kakarampot na lang yung naging income mo tuloy. Remember, ang variable costing income mo, 300K kanina, di ba, sa problem 1. We can say that throughput costing results in even lower income than does variable costing when production exceeds sales. Tama nga naman. Kapag ang laki ng production, mas mababa yung income under throughput costing. Huh? Tuloy natin yung rules natin sa net income na additional rules. Again, kung production is greater than sales, absorption income, no? EI is greater than VI, pero VI or variable costing income is greater than PI or throughput costing income. Pero sa mga problems, tandaan nyo lang lagi ito. Kumbaga ba, yung throughput costing income, additional lang yan, extension lang yan. Pero ang pinaka-basic concept is yung absorption income is greater than variable income if production is greater than sales. Extend mo lang ulit yung throughput income dyan. No? Kasi sa throughput costing, it penalizes high production and rewards low production. Kasi di ba, pag low production ka, ang pinakamataas na income is yung throughput costing mo. If production is less than sales, di ba, throughput costing income ang pinaka mataas na income. No? Hence, it is very much in tune with JIT and other philosophies that seek lower inventories. Sir, ano po ba yung JIT na yan? Yan po ba yung sa Shopee? No? JNT po yun, ha? Hindi po yan. Magkaiba sila. JIT po is just-in-time inventory system. Isa po management philosophy focus sa pag-maintain ng lower inventories by aligning production schedules with demand. Kumbaga, kung kailan mo lang kailangan, dun mo lang ipapagawa. Diba? Kaya, napakaganda nun. Yun yung aim mo, diba? Ang aim mo talaga is production. Is equal to sales. Kasi in the long run, yun yung gusto mo eh. Kung ilan lang yung may gustong bumili, yun lang yung bebentahan mo or yun lang yung iproproduce mo. No? Pero para ma-implement 'yan, no? Dapat few suppliers lang siya which deliver high quality goods. Siyempre, kailangan talaga ng customer kaagad, just in time. Dapat yung suppliers high quality yung i-deliver nila. No? And long-term contracts yan with suppliers. Few suppliers lang yan, pero kasi reliable suppliers sila. Suki na talaga. Alam na talaga yung characteristic ng organization mo na just-in-time inventory system ang ini-implement mo. No? And only minimal inspection of delivered materials and parts. Kasi nga, sa sobrang reliable ng supplier, hindi na masyadong ini-inspect yung mga products. Pagka produce, bigay ka agad. Diba? Sana all. Sana all ganon. No? Alright? So, additional lang yan, no? Extension lang yan. So, theory question. Huh? Which of the following situations would cause variable costing net income to be lower than absorption costing net income? So, pwede nyo pong i-pause, no? Pwede nyo pong sagutin sa itong theory question na ito. Ang theory question na ito ay brought to you by si Jensley Barroso, no? Ang pinakamasipag mag-follow up. Thank you so much sa pag-follow up sa akin. Na kailangan ko na mag-video lecture, no? Jensley, no? Sila Jake din, di ba? Mapa-shoutout din sila Jake. Grabe naman. Mga singers, grabe naman sila kumanta. Grabe naman. Si Santa Maria. Sige na, magsagot na nga ako. Pinag-331 ko ba ito? So, anong sagot? Secret. Letter A po ang sagot, no? Ano ba yung problem? Which of the following situation would cause variable costing net income to be lower? I know. Hence, we can say, yung absorption costing income is greater than variable. Paano mangyayari yan? If P is greater than S. Yung production natin, 35K. Yung nabenta natin, 30K. Diba? Direct to the point yun na. Kapag equal yung sold and units produced, wala, equal silang dalawa. Hindi yan magiging lower yung variable income. If P is less than S ulit, di ba? AI is less than B. So, hindi na yan totoo. Kasi variable costing income, to be lower kasi yung gusto mo higher na yan. So, mali na yan. Pero yung dog and egg, same effect sila. Kasi syempre, kung ano naman yung in-implement mo sa variable costing, i-implement mo din yun sa absorption costing. Sales price mo, ganun, parehas din yan, magdi-decrease both method. No, selling expenses, then magi-increase yan both method. No? So, same effect silang dalawa. So, ang best answer, letter A. No? Ayan lang din yung sinabi ko. So, another theory question brought to you by, sino ba? Sige, naubusan na ako ng pangalan. Next theory question na lang. So, ang sagot po dyan, no? Profit under absorption costing may differ from profit determined under variable costing. How is this difference calculated? Letter A po yung sagot. Kapag nabasa ninyo yung variable cost per unit, no, ano bang sinasabi niyan, sir? Ito lang naman yung above template natin. And sa above template natin, remember, no? Change in inventory yung ginagawa natin to reconcile yung absorption costing net income papuntang variable costing net income and vice versa. Anong minumultiply natin sa beginning and ending inventory? Fixed cost per unit. Dito kasi nabanggit variable cost per unit, mali na yung dalawang yan. No? Pero again, ang tinitik into account natin is yung change sa inventory. Hindi yung change sa production. No? Alright. So, ito naman. Standard costing application. Paano mo po ba i-apply yung standard costing sa product costing? Kasi sabi ko nga, konektado sila. Period cost, product cost, cost concept, CVP, standard costing, variable and absorption costing. No? When a firm uses the standard costing system and income statements are prepared under the absorption and variable costing methods, cost of goods sold are computed at standard. Naka-standard po muna initially yung cost of goods sold natin. The standard cost of goods sold is then adjusted to actual cost by adding unfavorable variances and or deducting favorable variances. Remember? Naalala nyo po ba? Diba? Yung standard COGS natin, add mo daw dyan yung unfavorable variances mo. I-deduct mo ngayon yung favorable variance mo, you will get yung adjusted or yung actual cost of goods sold mo. No? Again, ito po yung i-represent natin sa financial statements ha, yung adjusted cost of goods sold na. Na-adjust mo na lahat dyan, na-take into account mo na dyan, lahat ng mga variances mo. Again, paalala ko ho sa inyo, kapag yung variance is immaterial, it is disposed wholly to cost of goods sold. No, lahat i-charge mo sa cost of goods sold. Unfavorable variances, add mo sa COGS. Favorable variances, deducted from COGS. Nasa standard costing natin yan. Alright? So, variable versus absorption costing variances. Ano ulit yung mga variances to be added or deducted from COGS to arrive at the actual COGS? Kapag nasa absorption costing ka, lahat ng variances. DM, TL, yun po yung mga spending variance, diba? Rate variance, efficiency variance, no? Volume variance, lahat po yun, gagawin mo or i-adjust mo to arrive at the actual COGS. Kasi anong treatment natin sa fixed manufacturing overhead? Ina-allocate natin yan sa units produced kasi inventoryable yan. Product cost yan under absorption costing. Kaya lahat ng variances kasama. Pero pag variable costing, lahat ng variances except factory overhead or fixed overhead rather. No? Fixed overhead po ito. Fixed manufacturing overhead. Kasi anong ulit treatment natin sa mixed manufacturing overhead? Expense yan as period cost under variable costing. No? Sa variances kasi, ang concern kasi natin sa variances is yung production. We're talking about production here. Kaya kung na-expense mo na yan, hindi mo na yan sinasali sa production. No? Hindi na siya belang for that matter. Alright? So, problem number 3, tignan natin tong problem na to, no? Let's make it more comprehensive this time. During its first year of operations, a company produced 50,000 units of its only product. Unit sales were 42,000. Fixed overhead was applied at 4 pesos per unit produced. Fixed overhead was over-applied by 15K. No? The unfavorable variable manufacturing cost variance amounted to 65K and the manufacturing cost variances were already close to cost of goods sold. The results of the year's operations prepared for external reporting purposes are as follows. Ang dami. Ang dami kaagad. Ang dami nangyari kaagad, no? Isa-isayin natin, no? Isa-isayin natin. Relax ka lang. No? Ayan daw yung results ng operations for external reporting purposes. Sir, ano ho yan? Diba po, pag sabi natin for external, diba? Nagko-comply yan sa PFRS. Kaya kapag PFRS, GAAP reporting yan or absorption costing. Again, external reporting purposes ka, nagko-comply yan sa PFRS. Pero di ba pag internal variable costing, pag external absorption costing, so yun lang din po yun. Parehas sila ng sinasabi. No? So ito, yung cost of goods sold na yan, under absorption costing yan. Ilan yung na-produce? 50K. Ilan yung nabenta? 42K. Fixed overhead was applied at 4 pesos per unit. No, yun daw po yung fixed cost per unit. Fixed overhead was over-applied by 15K. No? Pamaya pag-usapan natin, ano po ba yung over-applied? The unfavorable variable manufacturing cost variances, 65K. And yung manufacturing cost variances were already close to cost of goods sold. Hence, yung cost of goods sold na yan, yan na po yung actual or adjusted COGS. Na-adjust mo na lahat dyan yung mga variances na pinagsasabi dyan sa problem. So, anong requirement? Cost daw ng ending inventory under variable and absorption costing and compute the income under direct costing. Sir, ano ulit yung direct costing? Variable costing po iyan. Other known or other name for variable costing ay direct costing. And reconcile the difference between the two income figures. So, yun lang po yung ganap sa problem na ito. Yun lang yung kailangan ninyong starting point. So again, di ba, naka-highlight yung applied fixed overhead, over-applied daw, and external reporting purposes. Cost of goods sold, already adjusted na yan. Ano ulit? Ang ibang tawag sa unfavorable variance? Debit variance. Anong ibang tawag sa kanya? Under-applied or under-absorbed. Anong treatment? Added yan sa standard cost of goods sold. Pero bakit ba muna tinawag siyang under-applied? No? Under-applied. Bakit ba tinawag na under-applied? For example, ang actual cost mo 100K. No? Pero ang applied or yung standard mo, 'di ba? Actual budget standard, 'di ba? Or yung other term for standard, yan din yung ina-applied mo for actual production. Ang in-applied mo sa actual production 80K, under-applied ka. Kasi ang in-apply mo lang 80K. No? Pero ang actual 100K, kulang ka ng in-apply. Kaya under-applied. No? Yun lang naman ho yung gusto niyang sabihin. Paano naman sir kung favorable variance yan? Credit variance yung ibang tawag or over-applied or over-absorbed. And deducted naman yan from standard cost of goods sold. Bakit tinawag na over-applied? Kasi mas malaki yung in-apply kesa dun sa actual. Ang in-apply mo 150, ang actual lang 120. Eh di sumobra ka. Over-applied. No? So yun lang yung gusto niyang sabihin. Alright? So, okay na tayo dyan sa fixed overhead over-applied by 15K. So, yung tinutukoy niyang over-applied na yan, favorable variance lang pala yan. Ganyan lang naman pala, favorable variance lang pala, no? Kaibigan lang pala, di ba? No, favorable variance lang pala yung tinutukoy dyan. So, solusyonan na natin. Di ba? Anong sabi ulit? Yung unfavorable, yung manufacturing cost variances will already close to cost of goods sold. So, tignan natin. So, yan na yung actual. No? Itong cost of goods sold na binigay kanina, yan na po yung adjusted. Tapos, i-gross up mo yan, i-work back mo to get yung standard or unadjusted cost of goods sold. No? Ano ulit yung over-applied, favorable variance yan. So, yung 15K, binabawas yan sa standard COGS. Pero, yung unfavorable variance or unfavorable variable manufacturing cost na 65K, ina-add yan sa standard COGS. Pero pa-work back tayo. Diba? Kaya, i-work back mo siya. Ang standard or unadjusted COGS mo, 420K. Sir, para saan ba? Bakit natin kinuha yung unadjusted COGS or standard cost of goods sold? Kasi po, to get yung standard or unadjusted cost of goods sold, we need to multiply the number of units sold dun sa unit cost for absorption costing. No? Ilan ba yung nabenta mo? 42,000, di ba? And under external reporting purposes or absorption costing income, no? Pag binultiply mo yung unit sold dun sa unit cost for absorption costing, makukuha mo dyan yung standard or unadjusted cost of goods sold. Diba? Hence, you can say, yung 420,000, i-divide mo sa 42,000 units sold, edi 10 yung unit cost mo for absorption costing. Diba? This time, given yung fixed overhead mo, 4 pesos per unit. Oh. Edi 4. O di ang unit cost mo 4. Direct materials, direct labor, and variable overhead, edi 6. Kung 6 yan, yung absorption costing, 6 din yung variable costing. Kasi sabi ko nga kanina, parehas lang sila dyan. Nagkaiba lang sila sa fixed overhead kasi 0 yan sa variable costing. Kita nyo yon? Diba? So, ganun siya, ganun siya. Para makuha mo yung unit cost ng variable costing. Procedural siya, alam ko, pero magandang maintindihan. Again, pag minultiply natin sa yung unit sold dun sa unit cost for unit product cost, ano muna yan? Standard or unadjusted cost of goods sold. Kasi anong sabi natin? Cost of goods sold is initially computed at standard. So pagkakuha mo pa lang dyan, initially, standard na agad yan. Hindi pa yan na-adjust for variances. Hindi agad yan for 70. Adjust mo muna yan sa mga variances. Alright, so 10 yan. So alalahanin natin, 6 yung unit cost ng variable costing. Ilan yung fixed overhead per unit natin? 4. Kasi, kailangan natin yan for solution number 1. Ano bang tanong? What is the cost of ending inventory under variable and absorption costing? Ilan ba ulit yung na-produce? Wala tayong beginning inventory ha, kasi first year of operations. So, walang inventory dyan, beginning. Pero may na-produce tayo, 50K. Ilan yung nabenta natin? 42K. Kaya ang ending inventory natin, 8,000. Kaya anong cost of ending inventory? Kung ang unit product cost po for variable is 6, edi 8,000 times 6 or 48,000. Absorption costing naman, 8 times 10 or 8,000 times 10, 80,000. No? So, yun na yung sagot. No? Sir, ano naman tong fixed overhead variance? Diba? Nabanggit kanina na yung fixed overhead mo was over-applied by 15K. So, to get, no? Meron tayong tinatawag dyan na applied, di ba? Kung naalala ninyo, yung standard costing natin, meron tayong actual, budget, tapos standard. No? Doon po sa budget natin, normal capacity, multiply natin yung standard fixed overhead rate yata yun, di ba? Tapos, yung standard natin, yung standard hours allowed for actual production, multiply ulit natin sa standard fixed overhead rate. Dito, since we're talking about units, no? Pwede mo rin siyang gawin as actual production multiply by unit fixed cost per unit. No? Or number of, since same sila, dapat kasi parehas. They have the common denominator. Ilan yung production mo in terms of units. In terms of units produced, yung production mo. I-multiply mo sa fixed cost per unit, same lang din ho iyon. No? So, ito, yun lang yung pinagkaiba nila dito. So, actual production, multiply mo sa fixed cost per unit. Yung 50,000 na na-produce, no? 50,000 units, i-multiply mo sa 4 pesos per unit na fixed overhead. Makuha mo dyan, 200K. No? Sabi niya kasi, over-applied siya ng 15K. E di we can say na yung 200K, over-applied yan ng 15K, e di mas madami. Diba? Mas mabigat siya. Kung over-applied yan, ibig sabihin, magaan yung nasa taas niya para maging over-applied talaga. So, 200K, ibawas mo sa 15K, diba? Ano bang other term for over-applied? Favorable. Diba? Kung favorable yan ang 15K, ibig sabihin, magaan yung nasa taas niya. Alright? So, ang actual fixed overhead mo is 185K. Bakit natin kinuha yan? Kasi, wala po tayong fixed overhead variance or specifically volume variance under variable costing. Kasi again, pag variable costing ka, wala kang fixed overhead or period cost mo yung fixed overhead. Hindi yan pumapasok sa production. No? So, yung actual fixed overhead mo, period cost yan under variable costing. Yung actual na 185K. Hindi po applied ang ilalagay mo na fixed overhead ha, actual fixed overhead or budgeted fixed overhead. No? So, tignan na natin sa variable costing income natin. No? Ilan nga ulit yung sales? 42,000 at 15. No? Ilan yung variable cost natin na manufacturing cost? 6. Di ba po, ang unit cost natin sa variable costing, 6 kanina, di ba? No? So, 42,000 number of units sold multiplied by 6. Ganun ulit sa selling expenses natin, magkano daw? 90,000. Kaya ang contribution margin mo, 288,000. Sa fixed cost mo naman, yun po yun. Yun po yung nakuha natin kanina na fixed overhead. Actual po, 185K. And lahat ng amount na yan, expense under variable costing. Tapos meron din tayong fixed selling and administrative expense na nagkakahalagang 30,000. Kaya ang net income natin, unadjusted, 73,000. Tignan ninyo ha, kung gagamitan natin yan ng above template, ilan yung absorption income natin? Adjusted ha? Adjusted po dapat. Ibig sabihin po ng absorption income na adjusted, na-adjust na dyan yung cost of goods sold. Na-adjust na yung mga variances natin. Na yung, totoo nga naman, yung absorption income natin kanina, na cost of goods sold. Sa cost of goods sold, na-adjust na doon or na-close na doon yung mga variances kanina. Again, wala tayong beginning inventory, pero meron tayong ending inventory kanina, di ba? 8,000. Ilan yung fixed cost per unit natin? 4. Kaya dapat, ang variable income natin na adjusted, 8,000. Pero ang lumabas, 73,000. So, hindi mo siya pwedeng isagot na 73,000. Kasi dun sa template mo, 8,000 eh. Hindi sila equal. No? So, anong reason? Bakit hindi sila equal? Yun po ay dahil meron tayong mga unfavorable variances. No? Meron po tayong mga variances na kailangang i-consider. No? Ilan po yung variable manufacturing variance natin? No? Unfavorable po. And yung unfavorable variances na yan, ina-add natin sa COGS. Total, dinadagdagan mo yung expenses, might as well say, bawasan mo rin yung net income. Parehas lang ng effect. Kasi kung dinagdagan mo yung expense, edi mababawasan yung income. Di ba? Same scenario. Oh, pero yung over-applied fixed overhead, wala pong ganun sa variable costing. Meron lamang yan sa absorption costing kanina. Tignan niyo, hindi natin in-adjust yung fixed overhead ngayon. Pero kanina sa absorption costing, kinonsider natin yan kanina to get yung standard cost of goods sold. Pero ngayon sa variable costing, wala po tayong nilagay na fixed overhead variances. Kaya ang adjusted net income mo, 8,000. Tugma dun sa above template natin. No? Again, no? Itong template na to, mag-work lang yan kung yung isang income na dyan, ina-adjust na. Dapat yung absorption or variable income mo, adjusted na dapat yan. Ibig sabihin, na-close mo na lahat yung variances sa cost of goods sold bago mo i-reconcile yung dalawang yan. Kasi kung ang ginawa mo, 73,000 yung nilagay mo dito, tapos winwork back mo, iba na ho yung makukuha mo na absorption income. 105K na yan. Hindi na sila tama. No? Beware lang, beware lang. Alright, so theory question naman ngayon. How will a favorable volume variance affect net income under each of the following methods? Again, volume variance po yung pinag-uusapan natin. Fixed overhead yan. We're talking about fixed overhead. Diba? Sino lang po ba ang may volume variance? Diba fixed overhead lang? So kapag variable costing ka, walang effect yan. Walang effect yan. So either A or C. And ano ulit ang effect ng favorable variance natin? Diba? Pag favorable yan, deducted from COGS. No? Kapag deducted from COGS, anong mangyayari sa income kapag binawasan mo yung expense? Eh di madadagdagan yung net income mo. O, kaya ang sagot, letter C. Okay. So, dun po nagtatapos, no? Or, actually, may pahabol pa pala. Fixed overhead volume variance is not applicable to variable costing. Only to absorption costing. Alright. So, summary. So, all in all, ito lang po pala yung summary nun. No? May additional lang dyan dun sa treatment natin, dun sa volume variance. Kasi yung variable costing ho natin, ini-ignore natin yan. Pero sa absorption costing, kino-consider natin ang volume variance. So, yan lang po talaga yung pinaka-summary. Lahat ng pinag-usapan natin. So, pwede nyo pong i-screenshot yan, di ba? Para hindi kayo malito. So, dito po nagtatapos ang one and only variable and absorption costing natin. So, sana marami kang natutunan and sana nag-enjoy ka sa video lecture na ito, no? Sa susunod na lang yung mga shoutout, guys, hindi ko kayo kayang i-recite, no? Pero sana mabalikan nyo to pag lipas ng panahon, no? Sana maalala ninyo na shoutout ko kayo dito. So, thank you guys so much sa support and see you soon. Bye-bye!